And we are back. I have Grandmaster Ludwig joining
Oh,
me for the call
oh,
here.
oh God. How's it going? How's it going? Hey, I just got back from Hikaru's. I was trying to help him out. Weird that his power went out. I did the best that I could, but what are you going to do? I guess I have to do it now. I guess we have to have me on. So, watch the first game. The first set went great.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting change of pace for me because normally I'm like, oh, so here in Hikaru, what do you think? And he gives me something about Magnus Carlsen. I can't wait to hear when I ask you that question. So, Ludwig, what do you think about Hikaru and Magnus Carlsen? I can't
Mhm.
wait for you to tell me the chess history behind everything.
Yeah, well, look, I can bring up anything you want. You want me to bring up the 1851? That's the only one I know. The 1851 Immortal game. I got you covered. But I do know both the players that are coming up here. I've played them both. I've lost to them both, to be frank. So
Oh,
I think I well, you don't have to say it like that.
oh,
It's a close 0-2.
yeah. Uh,
But
uh,
I think I have a lot of insight of what's about to happen. I was watching Slicker earlier. I think he's going to go for an early mate. I think it might be the same from Moist Critical. I think it's going to be a firework show.
an early mate from a Brit. Got it. And I mean, you know both these players well. You've played them in chess. You've probably played them in many other esports, I assume.
Yeah, sure.
Have you lost them in anything besides chess?
Um, no. Well, I I lose like a cool contest to Critical, if that counts. That's about all I got. Oh, by the way, before we I think we're jumped in. Production, you forgot to put GM like right.
Yeah, there's a GM missing
It's
from
just
yeah.
it's
I'm
like
actually pretty upset about that too.
I know. And what do you have to do to get a title around here?
Gosh. You ask and you shall receive, I feel like is what's about to happen.
Uh,
So D6 played by Slicker, protecting his center. So Ludwig, so far, everything looking normal to you?
Yeah, I think this is fine. I think if I'm Critical here, I'm feeling great. I love when I play E4 and they play E5. It's the only thing I want to have happen. At this point, you got so many options. That's great too. I love doing that. So what's the idea of D6? Because now I can just take with Knight, and then I feel like I have more advancements.
So I guess Slicker wanted to bring his bishop out early,
Oh,
so he
wow.
opened up the diagonal for his bishop. But you're right that opening with the knight instead of the pawn to d6 would have been better. You had better control over the center.
Mhm.
And if you had the white side of this position, what would your thought process be like?
I hate chasing out that dumb bishop. All right. It makes me waste my time. And then the bishop just ends in a good spot where it's attacking your pawn anyway. So I much prefer to like put my bishop to cut him off
Okay,
at,
that's
at, at, at my level. But I think I had a GM call it dainty once, or soft. I forget who. I believe it was. Oh, not a GM. Sorry, a professional dater, Alex Botez, said that once. That's why it might not have been the right call. But that's why I don't know if it's the right move.
well. Let me ask you something about time management because both of these players are moving really quickly. And if
Mhm.
we just go back, White took a pawn on e5,
Yeah.
Black went f6. Instead of reacting to either the pawn captures, Critical went knight c3, and then Slicker went g5.
Yeah, this is a crazy amount of blunders happening back to back to back. It feels like they're playing their 3-0 game, and I'm shocked that Critical has not seen just taking a pawn. You don't need him to be stacked. You just get a free pawn.
Right. And he took one pawn to begin with, so he'll end up doing a trade. He'll be up a pawn here. But bishop c4, to his credit, is a good move because he's getting his bishop out into the open. And g4, Slicker is holding nothing back.
Yeah, Slicker just seems to be advancing nonstop. I don't super understand it. It obviously was protected by the pawn already, but he's going for blood, and I respect that because we saw in the game with Hutch that if you play a little too passive, you might not find a mate, and you might end up in a tough situation. But I think this will be very different. I think we're going to see a lot more blunders today.
Well, let's listen in and hear Slicker's thoughts because he's always entertaining.
I can't move this here. I can't. Bang. Yo, when you see the enemies creep up, man, don't do nothing but, Yo, why am I spitting bars, man? Let's just say, moist critical. He's going to feel that moist. He's going to feel that moistness. Okay? Me threaten this. If I move this here, no. Because he's playing a smart game. But what am I doing? I need to pull out my enemies out. So I need to get this out. I need to get this
That
out.
was a cool move he's gonna do with the queen there.
Think, bro. Think. I don't want to disrespect. He's gonna do rook thing. He's gonna do rook thing. Come on, bro. I can't lose this, man. I got this for the boy, them. I got this for the boy, them. Got this for the boy, them. Maybe he's smart. Maybe he's not. But maybe he ain't that smart. Cause yo,
That was words of wisdom by Slicker there.
Everything he's saying, I'm agreeing with vehemently.
if I move this here, okay, that's fine. What is he trying to do? Is this a checkmate? Because I'm not doing Hikaru's move. Hikaru, if you're watching, his little bust little coach, GM Nataraduskuski, okay? GM Nataraduskuski, okay? Because listen, I seen what you done, and you don't know what you're doing, rude boy.
Pretty sure that was correct pronunciation of the British accent anyway.
Yeah, you trying to make me move that?
Didn't quite get. I think he wanted to talk with Devresky and put Hikaru's name in there.
Yeah, I think it was something intelligent. I'm sure. I mean, you've heard how they say Tuesday. It's the British way. It's charming.
Charming is one way of putting it, but Slicker, his position actually isn't that bad anymore if he takes this pawn on e5.
Yeah, I'll tell you a real problem that Slicker's having, and it's that he's an entertainer.
Yeah.
And so Nim once told me, the sage Nim said that, hey, when the other opponent's doing their move, you should think of what to do. But Slicker, no. He doesn't do that. He starts saying things to entertain his chat. That's all he's concerned about. I think he was dropping bars for a bit there.
Yes, and he's known to dance quite a lot on stream.
Yeah. So I think he's not really being like, oh, okay, well, here's a pawn here. I could take this unless he defends it. He's like, what, you rude boy? He got knock a new, and then he's more focused on that than the game at hand, which I get because I do the same thing sometimes while I'm streaming the chess match.
Yeah, I was watching you play chess last night, and seemed like you were a little distracted. But you also were, you're saying that people blunder a lot, right? People make a lot of mistakes, and here, for instance, this pawn on e5 has been here forever. This pawn, it can be captured by black, and white can decide to capture a pawn. So why do you think they're not looking at those pawns? Do you think they just forgot about them?
I think it comes down to it's your fault, Robert.
Mine.
And the rest of the GMs, you taught us to develop our pieces. And so that's what these guys are doing. They're doing great. All the pieces have been activated on the white side. Both sides have castled. But at no point do they think, oh, let me just look at the board and see if someone did some dumb. That's the lesson we needed. They're going to do dumb. Let's try to find it.
Well, thank you for coaching me on how to coach. I'm going to take that one to heart.
Okay. I'm sorry. Well, you look great today.
I meant that sincerely because I need to, make sure that everyone's ready. I need to coach you. So I'm getting ready for your match for tomorrow against XUC because that Hikaru is not prepping you. No chance.
It does feel like Hikaru is getting prepped by Ellie from The Last of Us 2 or whatever her name is. So I'm not too worried about that. I am worried about what's happening with Critical though.
All right, well, let's tune in to hear Critical's thoughts.
Just went here earlier with my queen and not good. I think I just got too focused on one thing in particular. All right. What are we looking for? We're looking at this.
Is he just completely silent right now?
He's just sullen. I think he's thinking though, which is good to do.
I would agree. Thinking is generally a good thing to do. Yeah. But it's making me uncomfortable how quiet he is.
I like the way he's pensive though. It's like touching his lips softly, considering various options.
If you're gonna have facial hair like that, you got to stroke the beard.
Tough, bro.
It would be a waste, and that's coming from someone who grows peach fuzz.
I have this once he takes that.
He is deep in thought, so he scanning the board for his opponent's ideas. which is good. So he's not getting obsessed with a single plan.
Yeah, it feels like there's a statute of limitations in chess. Oh, no way.
Maybe take.
Why wouldn't you? I guess
Take,
I feel
no,
like he
it's not
forgot that pawn took a pawn, and it's like there's a statute of limitations, and the crime's no longer, you can't get arrested for it. It's reset. It's reset, and all of a sudden he's like, okay, well, I have to ignore e5, obviously. Oh,
I need to
He
make
took
moves.
it.
Taking
Sorry,
too
what
long.
was that, Ludwig?
it's almost like when he shut off his brain, he knew what to do.
And
He just
he finally took the pawn.
he gripped it and ripped it.
I think
My
you made
man.
a good point though about forgetting that he captured a pawn there. So to him, it just seems like a pawn trade. And he's like, wait, why would I want to trade my pawn that lets my opponent's knight get out?
I'm still convinced that he did not know that was a positive trade for him. I still think that was like a 1-to-1 pawn trade, even if it wasn't. Ooh, this is bad on the meter. The meter went down. Why, Robert?
Oh, you're the GM, my GM co-commentator. So you tell me.
Well, we're right back up, so let's forget about it. We can glaze on past it. I was going to tell the chat, but we don't need to worry about it, boys, because there was another blunder.
So bishop takes knight on f3 would have removed the defender from the bishop on g5. And so if you take back, which is what you want to do, you lose this bishop on g5. So it's actually losing a piece in the process. And you would want to take on f6 to keep going, but then my queen comes down and checkmates you.
Simple case of chess.
Did you say checkers?
No, I meant to say, I'm going to say like a smart chess word, but I couldn't. I don't know, man. All I've been reading in chat today is that Hikaru with the glasses and people saying chess mate. So my words have fallen off. I don't know the words anymore.
Did you really just say checkers?
Come on, man. We don't got to get into the weeds of it. You know what I mean? We're just having fun here, you know?
We are. And also this tactic with bishop takes f3 is still out here.
Yeah, it keeps going down, but I don't think he'll find it. So it's just kind of like a fun, like, I don't even know what bounces this much. A thermometer, if you switch it between a sick child and a healthy child, perhaps.
How about a basketball? Normally when I think of bouncing.
A basketball. That's a good one. Let's go with basketball.
Okay. Just the first thing that came to mind, a trampoline, you bounce on that. Oh, whatever.
Yeah, trampoline's good too. Trampoline's good too. Hey, we all come up with our own ideas, Robert. Mine was also like good in a way.
Why are you so supportive of me today? I almost don't like it. I feel like I need you to start just ragging on me at some point.
I'm just trying to get on your good side, all right? Look, I'll spill the tea, okay? You think Hikaru's power went out magically? You think Alex magically got the spot to go on the Raj show? You think this was all an accident, Robert? I'm trying to make some things happen, all right?
Okay.
Just watch your back, buddy. You're next for me. You're next.
I'm
I'm trying to solo commentate all chess matches for the rest of time.
I mean, I can just bounce right now. And just
Okay, well, maybe not. Back out.
E5 by Moist Critical here. He gives up his pawn to center.
Yeah, that was a simple case of not counting. There's 3 defenders and 2 attackers.
Well, let's listen to Slicker because he just stole a pawn to center. He's probably really happy right now. That was a good line there. Like I was just listening to the music the whole time. He didn't say a single word. It's the first time I've ever heard. Well, not heard. I've ever seen Slicker be quiet.
Yeah, that was deep thought, and that was very educational for me to listen to UK rap. What a
First
treat.
time?
Not the first time. No, I I do listen to the best of the best. So, KSI drops some bars occasionally. I got to take a listen. All right. Just see who he's dissing.
I think we need to hear more of that rap. So I think we got to bring Slicker back on.
Yeah, I'm down to bring Slicker Black. Just no clips, chat. No clips, whatever you do. All right.
Oh, true.
What by the way, what would you be clipping anyway? Hey man, listen to this UK rap.
That's defending it. From Winchester.
Let's go back.
That was great. Manchester rap. Nothing beats it. Now, I do have a question for you, Robert. Is there a cool tactic you can do here as black by pushing your bishop to h3?
Yes. Bishop h3 because the pawn on g2 is pinned. And so once the bishop gets to h3, you'll have to react there. So also, Slicker was more focused on the chess than I've ever seen him. I think he just needs to listen to rap, and then he improves.
Yeah, I do think the rap is helping him. He seems to be in the zone because he's not worried about entertaining. That's what I'm telling you. It's hard to be a streamer. You got to focus on your chat because if you don't, they like complain or something because you're not entertaining them, even though it's free. And then they give you money anyway, and then they want you to thank them. Robert, it's a lot of work. It's a real job.
It definitely seems that way. And you know what else is a lot of work is trying to figure out this chess position because. Well, when I look at this position, I see that the pieces are all over the place. And Ludwig, for you, right, this queen on e4 looks pretty good, I'm guessing. But the queen on g7, you point out this bishop on h3 tactic.
Yeah.
And what kind of ideas are you seeing for both sides here, in addition to bishop h3?
For some reason, like I'm looking at the robot thing on the left, the trampoline, and I see the tactic with black. I think that's good. I guess it just gets stopped by g3 with the pawn.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see many ideas with white immediately. I think you'd have to create something by, I don't know, I'd bring like maybe queen to like b4. Ooh, they hated that. There's a mate in 6.
Mm-hmm.
There's a mate in 6.
So where do you think that mate is coming from? So now that you see it on the bar, so where would white deliver a checkmate?
I assume you would bring your knight to put him in check on e7. It gets taken by queen. And then you can move your queen to the A8 file, which will put him in check. He's forced to move because there's no interposition.
So he'll have
to. Oh, it's mate right there.
Yep.
Oh, easy clap.
So after knight e7 check, and he moves queen. So the thing is, right, when you have an evaluation bar or you're doing a puzzle, there's a solution, but nobody's sitting there telling Critical, hey man, you have a checkmate in 6 moves. So how is he supposed to find it? It's really hard to. When your queen's under attack, to move another piece.
Yeah, it would be absurd to have found that, I think, in the scenario because you're so tunnel visioned on just like your queen's under pressure and that sucks. But I still think he has like a good idea here. I mean, he does have a hanging knight that he's attacking. And then he also has the opportunity, because he's defending the c7 square right now, to maybe do something a little custom there if he can get some pieces involved.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I don't think he has a game plan yet, to be honest.
And probably not like a one that's like really seeing how am I going to go checkmate my opponent. But you're right that White's pieces are pretty menacing, and this move bishop e7 by Slicker, he was protecting the knight on c5. He has to take back, otherwise he just lost his piece. He does it, and now the king has to take. So look at Slicker finally. He realizes the queen needs to stay to this knight. But the great thing for critical is this bishop was pinning the knight to a rook. Now there's nothing there. So do you think he'll see that his knight can?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Oh.
I think he's going for it right now, actually.
He did it. Yeah, he got it.
Yeah.
And let's actually tune in. He has a minute and a half left. Let's hear his thoughts. Let's hear what's critical. He's so quiet.
He says so much with so little. That's like what the beautiful thing about him is.
Yeah. It's just so quiet. But his knight on e5.
Really impressed he took with the king. I thought he was definitely taking with the queen, which would have won me the knight.
He means the opposite of what he said, but that is true.
Do you think he's going to see the knight fork now? Nope. Good
no, I
move,
think he's very fixated on. I think he pre-thought that move, and just as long as it wasn't in jeopardy, he wanted to run it.
Although I see in his chat, Daniel Naroditsky was like, "Oh, come on," because Daniel has coached him, and he's like, "You can do that, knight c6." He could have found that.
He could have found it. I think just 87 seconds on the clock makes
That was
it a little
quick
harder.
math.
Was an English major. Numbers are just words, Robert.
That's true. I agree with that. That's perfectly sound logic. And so where's he going to go from here?
Yeah, I got no goddamn clue. I mean, he's got a pawn, but that would be dumb because his knight is hanging currently. He did not recognize that, though.
But you did, and will Slicker. That's the most important question right now.
I just gave up the knight for that, but I have a plan.
I don't know what his plan is. It might be to just throw him in check. But even if he puts him in check, there's not a piece he can grab because he'll be defended by the queen.
You're absolutely right. So he does, and he goes for the check.
Yeah, it looks like he saw that it would be threatening the knight, but again, the knight is defended by that queen.
So you think he just didn't? He was putting parts of it together, but the whole puzzle didn't come to him, so he kind of forgot that the queen on e5 would protect the knight.
Yeah, I mean, unless there's like.
Never mind. This isn't gonna work.
He just said never mind.
Oh, that wasn't worth.
I think that's like he saw the board, he saw the position his queen would be in. He just should recognize that obviously when the queen takes, he would be defending.
That was bad.
Ooh, yeah, that's a bummer for him. He looks pretty upset about it, actually.
Yeah, I mean, he just kind of blundered away. Pretty decent lead. I don't think it's as big of a deal as he's making it out to be. Also, I don't know if Slicker knows it's the only piece that's defending his knight.
Right. So he makes a non-knight move right now. That's not a check. He'll lose his knight on c5, justifying Critical's decision.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like this game, yeah, that was good. I mean, you can still threaten the bishop now, right? I think that's just what you got to go for.
Right. And he brings queen all the way back, which is
Throw him in
smart. He's
check.
bringing his.
I'm so low on time.
Stressing.
Does that happen to you too when you get to that minute point?
Robert, I think you saw my stream yesterday.
You were playing bullet. You're a king.
Yeah. What usually happens is I just lose, and then because I didn't realize I was low on time, and then I swear a couple times, and then I look to see if I got any subs, and then I usually don't, and then I start up another one.
I mean, you're an English major. Swear words are words too.
Thank you for saying that, because nobody admits it.
Just simple fact.
Yeah, this entire game, it feels like no one's had a super concrete game plan, and they're kind of hoping that the opponent makes the game for them. And the thing is, they have been, but they just haven't found those specific moves.
And Slicker just moved his knight to f6, so he's actually bringing his knight towards Critical's king, and knight g4 check will be a pretty big disaster. Oh, and Slicker, wow, he's on his game right now.
Yeah, Slicker has an attack. Slicker's had attacks today, though. I feel like he's had attacks and mine he's gone for them. I don't think I've seen Critical go for one like concrete attack plan outside of that one at the end that right there. That was just a blunder.
Right. He went for it, and he went for an inopportune moment. And now this king is in check. You only have 3 moves. You go up, and he goes up, which is the best move, I'd say, because your king actually can start running away. So you're not immediately getting into a checkmating net.
Yeah, I would find it impossibly hard to find a mate with a queen, knight, and bishop. I did see Slicker earlier. He was playing an opponent and just throwing the army, the entire force of the United States at his opponent. And that's kind of how he does checks. He doesn't specifically think of like, where can the king go? It's just throw him in check, make sure that I'm not blundering, and eventually we'll probably get there.
It's a good strategy right now, because if black stops checking white's king, then all of a sudden it's black's king that can be in some danger with his bishop coming to d5 with check. So I think he's doing the right thing. Oh, he stopped the checks. And what did I say? Here's bishop d5.
Yeah, he hasn't moved the bishop, and that check's been there for a while. He sees it.
And now he's picking up this knight on e4.
Yeah, easily.
That's a huge turnaround. But they both have under a minute on the clock. Slicker now down under 30 seconds.
Is there not a mate here if he goes like a7?
There is. Oh, but second time Critical's done this. He hasn't even looked for the other check.
Yeah.
He just picks up the piece, which is, I think it makes sense.
Yeah, and this, I don't think that would have been, he couldn't have had a mate solution there, right?
No, there was no forced checkmate because the king was going to run out to c5, but
now there is one.
Yes, because the king has to go here, and this queen will come here. We'll see if he finds it, because easier to say than to play in the game.
We are seeing this from a tactic solution. Oh.
Is he going to see that he can take the queen?
He didn't see it, thank God.
Oh, gosh.
Oh.
Now that's a turnaround.
You just, why would you put your queen there? There was no reason, Robert.
I'm just
it
playing
wasn't
for
doing
time right
anything.
now.
It was an unsuccessful queen.
Oh, Jesus.
I have no idea. I wonder if it was a mouse slip. We have him on camera, so let's listen in.
Oh, I can't believe I did this.
He seems distraught.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't know, but he went from mate and 4 to almost certainly losing this game.
And he just lost.
I can't believe I did that. Oh, what a throw. Oh, I even had time too on my side. What a throw. I can't believe I did that. Oh, that's so sad.
Well, you heard it from his mouth. He is very, very sad. And
yeah, understandably so.
Makes sense. And we're about to have another game, by the way. So this match is not over. Slicker now will get the white pieces. He only needs a draw in order to win the match. But what do you think, Ludwig? Critical kind of outplayed him in certain moments of that game. I feel like he has a chance.
I mean, I think there were several times where they both handed each other the game and just neither player took advantage of it until the very end, where it was like Critical was like, no, I insist, please. And then just blundered his queen away. So I think it just comes down to like when he's taking this time to look at the board and make his move, just look at all the pieces. Because it seems like he tunnel visions on one piece that he wants to move and then moves that piece every time, rather than taking, black doesn't move. The board changes before you make your move. I think it's fine to think while your opponent's making their move, but after they make their move, that's a different board.
No, it's a really good point, because that's sort of the problem for newer players, is that they have an idea in mind and they're so focused on it that they get the tunnel vision. And he wanted to go after his opponent's king, but putting your queen on f7, while it looks like it attacks the pawn, because it does, but your queen is now on a vulnerable square. And Slicker actually did sort of the same thing. He went queen check, and then the king moved, and then he was like, oh, wait a second, this queen's under attack. So if he made that queen move in a different position, he may not have won the game.
Yeah, he was walked to the take. I almost think that if right there Critical had gone to e5 or something with his king, that he might not have seen it. Like something as simple as that. It was maybe just the fact that he led him towards the queen with his eyes.
Right.
That it was like a no-brainer. Oh yeah, that's a blundered queen.
And Slicker only had 22 seconds left, so it's not like he was in the most comfortable shape here. He would have to play a quick move, and you're right. He was so focused on the queen, his own queen, that he may not have taken that queen with the bishop.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that happens a lot. And it feels like the way they play the opening in just the early game, the end games feel like blitz ends every time. And it doesn't have to. I think people are trying to find tactics where tactics don't exist, where you can just do like, you know, I'll say it, Robert, made openings where you just advance your pieces forward. All right. The chess principles. You can just do all that. And then you should have enough time that the end game, you can really, that's where you need to spend your time.
I also love how you teed it up where you were telling me you were going to say something and you were going to say it no matter what my reaction was.
Look, I'll say it. Chess at the highest level is lame. When you take out the blunders, that's the juice. People love the blunders.
Says the guy with a Dvoretsky endgame manual who can play blindfold chess better than people several hundred rating points higher than him.
It's because I can't see the blunders, Robert. I can't see the blunders. I do know Slicker loves this opening. I think it's very cheesy.
It is, and he misplayed it because if you want to go for this, you should put your bishop on c4 to go for the checkmate.
He's not even going for the mate. No, that's not even what he cares about. He just likes taking pieces with his queen. That's it. I saw him play like a couple games earlier. He likes going there and then hopes that they don't put the knight, and then he just takes and put him in check, and then just likes to eviscerate the right side of the board. That he just enjoy. It's not even. There's no idea of checkmate. It's just kill everything in sight with my queen.
Well, the problem with doing that is now black critical. He can put his knight on d4, which hits the queen, hits the bishop, and hits the pawn all at the same time.
Yeah, I think it's bad. I know it's bad, in fact, to bring out your queen early because of that. Because every time your queen's under threat, not only does it allow the other team to like advance a piece, but you also have to respond by moving the queen away. But it's still scary. I hate it when people do it to me. It's cheesy. I know you can beat it. I just don't know how to beat it all the time. So it is really stressful.
Especially if you're not expecting it, right? If it's new to you, then you're not going to know exactly the right way to react. And what Critical did here was smart. He develops his bishop so he can castle next move. Can't complain about that, but it is hard to move two pieces, the same piece, twice in an opening. And that's why he might not find knight d4.
Yeah, I think Slicker is a fiend with the queen. I don't know if you know this, Robert. He was a champion of the Raj show in his day.
Okay.
Truly the king of simps, and he knows how to move that queen.
Well, I now know that the Raj show is the Austin show. That's because Alexandra was on it yesterday.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch. Did you watch?
I did watch. My roommate was on it. She broke his heart. I'll never forgive you, Alex. I'll never forgive you. Should have picked Schlatt too.
Oh my gosh. Well, I feel badly for your roommate. So extend my deepest sympathies over there. But Papa Botez was freaking hilarious on it.
Yeah, he was great. I love Papa. And you know who Papa Botez picked? My roommate.
Really?
Yeah, he said my roommate was the best. Slime is his name. Was the best choice.
Well, we all make mistakes.
Botez Gambit once again. All right. This seems really good for black for some reason. Robert, can you explain? Because I don't see it.
So you can bring your knight out into d4, and that still has a good attack on the queen, attack on the pawn. But what the engine is screaming for is pawn to d5. And the point of this move is that it looks like you're giving away a free pawn. But this bishop comes out to g4, and Ludwig, tell me, how many safe squares does that queen have?
The queen has not many, I'll be honest. I think the only one is g3, right?
Exactly. And so it's a temporary pawn sacrifice where my next move is knight d4, and I'm threatening both knight e2 with check and to bring my knight here to just trap this queen.
Are you guys seeing this? Are you seeing this? In what world? I hate this trampoline thing. Could they have like a trampoline for, where's the gutters? I need the gutters.
You going bowling?
Yeah, take out excellent moves from the machine's algorithm because it just makes me feel worse about myself.
You shouldn't feel badly about yourself, man. The freaking engines are way better than all of us. Okay,
Yeah, that's true. That makes me feel better that you say you're worse than a computer.
I'm glad I could help
Thanks, Robert. You're the best.
your emotional state.
I don't love a lot of White's positioning, mostly because the knight.
This one on
The
h3,
knight can't do anything at all ever.
and Black can even consider taking it to ruin the pawn structure.
Yeah. Yeah, it can't escape. It just has to stay there and eventually die.
Wow, that kind of reminds me of Gollum from Lord of the Rings, but we could talk about that another time. That sounds very sad. So, I mean, Slicker made a good move. Oh, Charlie coming after the queen.
He's doing it.
He's going right after that queen.
He's playing exactly like a computer would. Why is that bad? Why is that? That's so bad. And that algorithm dropped. Oh, yeah, that's so hard to find.
Well, the reason why it may be not the most difficult thing to find, normally I would say yes, and that actually was a good move, but he had two pieces under attack at the same time. So you're like, okay, what happens if I move my knight? You just forget about your bishop here. That's the real problem. So if he takes here, he takes with check.
Yeah, he still will get it, and then he can get the well, he can't really get much off of it now, right? With the knight or the
Right.
bishop.
He'll just get an extra pawn, but at least now his two bishops are under attack, one here and one here. So he needs to do something that protects both, and the only way to do that is by taking this pawn here with check. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I think I don't know, it just feels like he's playing a little nervous, I will say. Critical.
Well, he is down 1-0, so he has to win. Oh, and he dropped the bishop back. And Slicker just steals that piece. I mean,
yeah, that was weird, right? That's just a straight up blunder because the pawn was able to take a knight and a bishop for nothing.
it's an extra piece for Slicker. So Slicker he had a lesson with Hikaru before this, by the way.
Yeah.
And it seems to be working out pretty well for Slicker.
They've both been playing like an inordinate amount of chess. I think they've both been taking it very seriously. It just feels like tournament nerves. UK rap is the best thing to listen to. It makes you undefeatable.
Do you get nervous when you're playing in other non-chess events? Like if you're playing another game?
Yeah, I did a Mario or not Mario, Super Mario 64 tournament. And it was like a relay, and I was incredibly nervous only because I had a team, and if I did poorly, like it was my fault that we would lose. But I have been very nervous throughout this entire chess tournament, and that's been weird because even like when I competed in Smash, I wouldn't get nervous unless I was in like a very, very tight situation.
So in individual games, you don't typically feel nervous, but the chess gets to you.
Yeah, even like going into it, like E4, I'm freaking out. Is E4 stupid all of a sudden? Did they patch it? I don't know anymore.
What is it about chess, man, that gets you all nervous?
I think it's I think one is the stage, but two, I think a lot of us just poured a lot of ourselves into chess. We've done a lot of training. So like if we lose, it's not because we didn't try. We all tried really hard to win. We just tried our best and it wasn't good enough. And that sucks sometimes. You know what I mean? Like if you put yourself out there and you try your hardest and you still lose, maybe you just suck. And that hurts. That hurts.
Wow. Now I am starting to feel like a degree of empathy towards you. Before I came in this with some animus, now I feel like, man, that was tough to hear. But
my English major ways, I'm twisting your mind with my words.
I feel like that's probably true. I play a lot of Scrabble, but you have the major, so you got this. This isn't a Moist Critical, so nobody has to hear me talk anymore.
Sure.
So quiet.
He's sullen, man.
It's like he's borderline inconsolable, it seems.
It is crazy that this was the same man who went on for a fair bit, probably the most I've seen on Twitch about his throbbing.
Yeah, I wasn't going to repeat those words, but yeah, I remember that clip. No, but so didn't I feel like they were trading barbs? Like these two were talking smack to each other, and there's no doubt in my mind that Critical wants no part of a loss.
Can't figure out any tactics on
Yeah,
Kingside
absolutely. I
here.
mean, it doesn't feel good to lose. Critical was poised as the favorite, right? I assume it was
Literally
close,
can't think of for
Yeah, I
Kingside.
think he was a favorite,
but I think he was the favorite. So I mean, that stings even more.
but I feel like Slicker just gets in people's head.
I do see GM Daniel Narditsky chilling in Critical's chat, trying to backseat game, and he seems a little frustrated about it. We talked about this 1,000 times, he says.
Did you not see Charlie's tribute to Daniel?
I
called-
did.
Yeah, he called him the prophet. So if he's going to be the prophet, he goes, Charlie's play is driving me nuts, but I believe.
Daniel's acting like the rest of Twitch chat. He's like the rest of us. We just want to call out the moves.
And now that means chat's about to spam one of us. Can't wait for it. I'm learning, I'm learning this whole Twitch lingo.
You know, all you got to do is farm emotes. That's it. At the end of the day, if you ever not sure what to say, you just say, "Hey, this is a sad situation for Critical," and then you got chat covered for like 45 seconds.
Got it. Then I'll recharge and figure out what to say after that.
Exactly. And now you know streaming.
And there goes one of us. I see it all happening. Oh gosh, look what we did.
I'll be honest. I'm trying to play as
I don't know.
Critical. I'm trying to play as Black.
I'm just
I
gonna
don't know
play
what
off
to do.
pure raw instinct.
I guess playing off of pure raw instinct is what he's going with. And yeah, it is hard because he's down a piece and there's no clear play from him. He has the rook on d8, so he may want to try to use the d file, maybe double his rooks. That's probably one plan that I would think about, but you're absolutely right that there's no obvious plan for Black. There are you've all 8 pawns, so your pieces don't have the freest play.
Yeah, and his pawns on the C, E, and G file are brutal. They just prevent his like knight from moving in without having to do like 2 or 3 moves.
Right.
And that's frustrating.
Yeah, in general in chess, if a pawn is 3 squares away from a knight, like this pawn is, it takes away that knight's forward jumping possibilities. So I always mention this when I'm covering chess. A pawn 3 squares away from a knight is almost always a good thing.
Chess rules are dumb because you always have a qualifier at the end. Like
Yes.
Control the center always.
No.
Except this one time where
Those are
it's gonna be a
principles.
bad idea.
Not laws. Oh, and look at
I
that
see.
move by Slicker. Bishop b2 is coming.
It's like Pirates.
I guess. I don't know.
Like Pirates of the Caribbean. It's more like guidelines.
Right. And everything in that movie is guideline is generous for everything that happened in that movie, but
It was pretty much a documentary.
I was going to give a shout out to Cash App for the 20 gifted subs. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I have to answer messages that you can't see, Ludwig. All right. My life is not easy.
They dropped 20 gifted, man. That's $100. It's like a multi-million. Drop a hundo if you're trying to flex. You know what I mean? Cash App. Jesus.
I'm just
Come on.
saying what I'm told. All right. This is not me. You think
Come
I
on,
would
Cash App.
ever
What's
shout
going
out
on?
somebody for a sub?
You drop 100, then we can talk about it. I'll ring the siren. I'll drop my easy buttons.
Well,
This is Cash App.
I brought up the 20 because you almost lost 20 yesterday when you were saying he's not going to make this move for sure.
That
and then
is
Nim
true.
did make that move.
That is true. That did almost happen. But hey, that's the good thing about stalling is that you can never, ever get screwed over as long as you don't finish your sentences.
It's true. But as a person who majored in the major you chose, maybe being a little more eloquent is good too.
I think both players should just try stacking on the D file. It's the only open one with their rooks. I think that's it, right?
Yeah, I'd probably try to go rook to d7, rook to d8, something like that. And he plays knight to d7. So he really is struggling to find any sort of idea, but this is actually quite good because the knight might come to f8 and then into e6, and then you have squares to actually jump into.
Yeah.
And I would say, Ludwig, you can correct me if I'm wrong. These kind of backwards like moves that don't seem to do anything right away are ones that are really hard to play. Like knight to d7, you're like, what was the purpose of that? But if he can keep rerouting that knight, maybe finally it will find the light of day.
I think it's just really frustrating that you have to do like 3 moves to be in a spot that's good. And I oftentimes like I want to be in the good spot, but since his pawns are all kind of garbage, he has to do like so many. He just has to jump around the entire map because the knight moves all wonky.
It does. It's a slow moving piece. And I guess that's why he brought the knight back, was he was protecting the g5 pawn with his queen so that he could play h5 and open this for his rook. Pretty good idea.
Yeah, I like opening it up. I think it's way too tight. I don't think anyone's going to be able to find a way out through this just pawn wall on the 4th and 5th. You call them ranks when they're this way?
Yeah, ranks.
Ranks. But what about this way?
The files.
Okay, ranks and files. Okay. Yeah, I like it. I think it's genius.
You just called Critical a genius. Love it.
I think Critical's so much better than he's playing. I've played against Critical, and I don't know. For some reason, it feels like the moment he beat XQC, like it was like that Space Jam scene where it zapped some of his powers. Because like I played him in like a 10-5, and he was really good. And then I played him in a 3-0 like the day after he beat XQC, and he was like, I don't know, man. Daniel said to play 3-0s, man. He said I gotta be quick. I don't know, man. I gotta go. I gotta go. And I was like, okay. It was like bad. I was like, what's going on? I think he psyched himself out. I think maybe his expectations got raised or something. I don't know what's going on with him, but I hope he manages to find some composure in this game.
Where are the Monstars in this equation, in this whole Space Jam reference?
Obviously, Slicker is the Monstars because they're so small. And then they have to take the power to become huge.
Yep. Then they steal Sean Bradley and they become 7'6" or however tall he was.
Exactly.
So knight f3 by Slicker. He's coming after g5 now. So both of these players are doing really good moves at this point.
Yeah.
And I guess the question is Critical going to protect his pawn, or is he going to swing his rook over to h8 and go for white's king?
Or can you just move your rook to like h3, lock it in place, then bring him over?
Yeah, rook h3, so you're attacking the knight and behind the queen, but then I could probably take on g5 with my queen. So you were pinning it, and I get to trade queens this way. It's not the end of the world, but
yeah,
it doesn't allow white to trade queens.
I see. Of course. I think that's hard to see. I will say, though.
Just to take f6
with a stronger piece first is not something I would do naturally.
That makes sense. It really does. And just for the record, I know I give you some attitude every now and then. There's no suggestion you can make on the chessboard that I would ever make fun of. So I'm just going to say that out loud. I firmly believe that when you're looking at a chessboard and like you're studying and you're not playing it, that you should be coming up with as many ideas as possible. Even if they don't work, it's worse to not think of them in the first place.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying you kind of like me? Like we're cool now?
Yeah, we're cool. We're cool.
Cool. It seems like people are dropping their 5,000 highlighted redeemed messages.
Yeah, I saw that. Didn't understand what it is.
It's this new system that Twitch added where you just get points for being in a channel. Twitch is the world's best company at farming people who are already watching Twitch to watch Twitch more and spend more money on Twitch. And so drop that 5K, boys. You earned it.
I mean, it's nonstop. And it's just, it's never ending.
You can drop your Chess.com Naka H3_SGs. Drop your Chess.com. Wait, hold up. I got to get the full thing. Drop your Chess.com Naka _ whatever it is. The one with the glasses if you're rooting for Slicker, and then the one with the finger under his chin if you're rooting for Critical.
You are just controlling the chat now.
But it's got to be highlighted or else it doesn't count.
Oh. Uh-huh.
Thank you for the 10 gifted Ludwig app. Very cool. Wow, what a cool sounding app. Robert, I'd love to talk about it more, but I do want to see what Critical's thinking of.
Huge shout out to Ludwig app. Are you kidding me? No, we're not going to talk about that. We're talking about the Ludwig app.
I'm down. We got to talk about Ludwig app because it is changing the game. I can't tell you what it does yet, but it is good.
Is it similar to LudwigChess.com?
Yes. It's similar to Ludwig Chess.com, but infused with Cash App. I would call it the Uber of chess.
Oh,
Yeah,
now we're getting places.
is what we're going for here.
And speaking of getting places, all of a sudden, Critical has taken this pawn on h3, and this king on g1 is feeling awfully unprotected here. Now that the h3 pawn is gone, g4 is under attack. Good move by Slicker here. Let's tune into Critical to hear his thoughts as he is down on the clock and he's in a must-win situation. He's so quiet.
Again, I think everything comes down to like confidence in your moves, and I think Critical feels probably how I feel when I'm in spots like this, and it's just every single move I feel super not confident at all, like I'm a dumb idiot.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
We have to be, because the alternative is we lose, and then when you lose, everybody types "Sag fart of Twitch" in your stream, and then it feels bad, Robert. You don't understand.
I do understand, because the chat is relentless even off of Grandmaster, so it happens to all of us.
That makes me feel better.
But Critical's position is getting better, for sure.
Yeah, he's managed to get like a couple pieces out.
Wow. Get a load of this guy. What the?
Go for a crazy play here.
137.
What would you do?
A4, pawn to A4.
It's a good idea, actually, because you're trying to open up the A file for your pieces.
Yeah, also get my queen out.
Dude, look what he's doing. He's bringing his knight around.
I do like that. If his knight ends up on F4, that's...
Yeah, that's the chef's kiss, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the best chess Critical has played. Obviously, from a full game perspective, no. But in the last, 10 moves, after he lost the piece, it feels like he's really maneuvered extremely well.
Yeah, this spot for both of them just seems like miserably difficult and like tedious, and so many just small movements that feel wrong but are right.
That's a really good assessment of the position. It's all about the maneuvering, these little moves. Slicker's move is great, queen to d3. Because if the knight moves away, he'll bring his queen all the way down to d7, trading off the queens there and going after Black's king.
Just making a work.
You heard what he said about your move, Ludwig?
Yeah, he definitely. Well, so to be clear, my move would have been done on a different board, so I could have taken with the, not useless. Critical obviously didn't mean that.
I just need something.
Your
to
move
break
is
some
good.
Tension somewhere. I just don't know what. I can't do anything back here.
I don't understand why I can't just move the knight.
Other than come down here and
G6.
exchange one rook.
He can. And
The queen
will
can't
be-
go down.
I pulled that defender away. Maybe I just do that. I'm real low on time. That's
That's a
all I
pretty
can
good
think of.
And Ludwig, one of the good
Ooh.
things about your a4 move
Are you kidding me?
was you
Kidding me?
took back.
This guy is
Let's
so
go
against
back to us.
trades.
Pawn on c4 now is not well protected. That pawn was on b3 and was
Mhm.
protecting c4.
Mm-hmm.
Once it captured, the queen on e6 is aiming right at that c4 pawn.
Yeah, that's what I originally wanted to do. Unfortunately, he just did it after the queen already moved to protect it.
Mhm.
But it would have been hanging, and so he could have gotten a bit of tempo. I
Yep.
still like the idea of bringing the knight in. I feel like he was doing it and then quit. But that knight there just seems amazing.
You should do it right now. This is an opportune moment. Bring the knight to g6, bring it into f4, where it hits the queen, it hits this rook here. And Slicker was smart to bring his knight back because he's trying to protect his king. This is also a good move by Critical, hitting this g4 pawn. This is a very tense position.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the worst part about this is Critical's like anti-Nim in the sense that when the time starts to get low, it gets bad for him.
Yeah, Nim is a beast in time pressure. And okay, brought the knight out. Here's the knight coming into f4.
Yeah, it was cool. Slicker almost like motivate him to do it. Oh, I guess you had to, yeah.
Yeah, Slicker did kind of bait him into it. And look at Critical go.
Yeah, took the pawn that he opened up with his useless move. Not so useless now, huh, buddy?
Oh my gosh, he's giving this king a check. and this bishop is hanging, and the king's in big trouble. Knight f4. Play knight f4.
Oh, I think he was too concerned about the pawn. I can just push up the pawn, and you basically take rook for pawn here.
But if white pushes up the pawn, black should let white go get a queen and try to checkmate the king instead. This king is in big danger.
Yeah. I like the idea of it. I just think to switch from the mindset of play good chess, take pieces, protect king to checkmate is a pretty big jump, and just hope he sees it.
Well, a move ago, he brought his rook down, so I assume he's going for a sort of checkmate idea. And Slicker brings his rook back to g1, and look at critical go. He gives this check here, and his knight on e2.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. Oh, queen takes knight's mate.
Is he gonna see that?
Oh, he took the bishop.
That's fine. He's still in a mating scenario, and he still has like a little bit of tempo here.
He is. Let's bring critical back on just to see if he can finish off this game.
Can't do that.
Oh,
he's doing it.
he can't draw here. Oh, he does see that finally.
He does, which
So
means
that's-
he's going to checkmate him.
Yeah.
He does it.
There it is.
Bang! You up, baby. 51 seconds on the clock. That's gotta hurt. That doesn't feel good, does it, Slicker? You just up so huge, man. Oh, he got greedy with my pawns. I'm glad that my little gambit paid off. Oh,
Right.
Jesus
well,
Christ.
Clearly, he was very stressed in that moment. And
Yeah.
I mean, he's right that Slicker got distracted by some of his pawns. And then he was able to get an attack and eventually deliver checkmate. So it's funny because Slicker's moves were quite good throughout this entire game.
Yeah, I think Slicker played great. I would probably chop it up to one move, Robert, that really changed this game in White's favor. And it was the H pawn move, or the A pawn move. It was the A5 to A4 move. And then that kind of left the queen to move to C4 eventually. And then it also allowed Slicker to start making a push, which ended up being like a big mistake, his downfall.
You're right. And we are going to get a tiebreak. It's going to be a 3-minute blitz game where right now it is Charlie Critical getting the white pieces. So he'll get the first move, but 3 minutes pure blitz. And because of Ludwig's great suggestion with pawn to a4, hey, producer, can we add the GM title? No, not in there. Can we just give him the GM title? That was a great suggestion.
Give it to me.
You deserve it.
Can we call every time a pawn on the black side moves from A5 to A4, no matter what the scenario is, the Ludwig Gambit? Can we do that?
I think we can. It's a great move. And you saw that you were loosening up the defense of this pawn at C4. And that was actually critical to how, well, critical won. I said critical, and I was like, this is a, yeah, whatever. You get it.
This GM shit's easy, boys. I'm telling you. Chess, I've been here for like 2 weeks. It don't take a whole lifetime. Don't worry about it. Just spend a couple hours every day. You know what I mean? It's like brushing your teeth.
Wait, why is the knot still there? Can we remove the knot from the GM Ludwig?
Real cool, producers. All right. Farm your lull W's. The Ludwig app will fight back. We will sue. We do have the power of litigation on our side.
I'm so glad my sister's a lawyer right now.
I'm nervous about a 3L for Critical.
You think that in the blitz, it goes to Slicker's favor?
He's so slow, and I think the way Slicker plays too, I guess he'll be black, so it's a little different, but just with his aggressive queen, it's something that, like, not learned. Hikaru doesn't say, hey, sometimes they just bring out their queen and move their queen around for 15 turns. And so you have to think about every single thing that Slicker's queen's going to do. It slows you down a lot. I'm nervous. He plays slow. I feel like Slicker has the edge here.
I would agree with that. He plays very quickly. So even if his moves aren't going to be optimal, actually Hikaru says a lot about his own games. A good fast move is better than the best move if you played slowly. So just conserving your time is important. And I was going to ask if Slicker was still there because he's in a dark room pretty much every time he's streaming. And then I saw him when he changed the scene. All right, we have liftoff.
Okay, we're into it.
Is this the first Blitz game you've ever had the honor of commentating?
It is the first Blitz game. I saw you commentating it earlier. It seems a little hectic. It's a lot slower when you're playing it, but when you're watching it, the moves are just flying out.
They are. It's because you're not thinking about the game in terms of how you're playing. You're sitting there watching. Oh, this looks interesting. That looks interesting. Rather than the pressure being on you. So the queen trade is offered.
Yeah,
and
queen. Ooh, declined.
Slicker
Weird.
says no, which is probably bad for Slicker because Charlie's bishop is now an open diagonal.
I think it's incredibly bad. I think anytime you're doing a 3-0, you just take your trade and you get to endgame as soon as possible. At least that's the way I play it, and it seems to get me the most success. Because otherwise you have to think, and that sucks.
Thinking sucks. You heard it from Ludwig first. But you're right, because when you have little time and then you're just thinking between 4 different moves, like which one is best, then you get rattled and you don't make any move. You get decision paralysis. So I agree with you that having – ooh, look what Charlie's doing here, though.
Yeah.
Critical is lining up on this 9-8-6.
He has an actual plan here. It feels like Slicker's just been moving fast. Look at this back line. It's like all his pieces in a row. Finally moves one. But it's not the worst threat in the world. You could just move it.
Ooh.
Didn't need to do that, though.
Yeah, stepped into a pin. So probably not. Oh, and look at Slicker go into a discovery as well.
Yeah, this is bad for him now.
He probably has to just put his bishop back to d3, play a move like that, but it's not comfortable here at all.
It'd be hard to find that move. I feel like he might end up going somewhere like e1 with his queen.
To keep his knight defended.
To keep the knight defended, yeah. It is a shame that he pinned himself. He could have just moved the knight out of the way, but again, it is 3-0. He decides to go from pin to pin, which that made no sense.
Oh, and Slicker moving too quickly at that moment could have taken this, and Critical sees it. So he brings his bishop out to protect the knight.
I mean, but what a blessing. Like that all hinged on Slicker just not taking advantage of a bad spot you put yourself in. Look at the left bar. The computer is upset at the amount of work it has to do here.
Did you see b5 was bad because the bishop could take it, and then Critical made his move in 0.9 seconds.
Yeah, they're pre-moving. They're not caring about what the other person's doing. They're just doing their move.
And it's hard to play blitz because you keep glancing at the clock every single time. Like, oh, this move. Oh, wait, I'm not even gonna look at the move. Let me look at the clock. You're freaking out. And Slicker
he's not grabbing this free knight. There is a free knight, and it's been here. This computer again it's whirring.
It's not meant for the faint of heart.
It's not meant for this level of play.
I think it's perfect for this level of play. Let's listen in on Critical because this is a tough moment for him. And
I'd love to hear him think through.
He's so quiet. He just continues to be silent.
He's up on time, which is a surprise to me.
That was a good move that he just played.
Okay, he can take. Sure, I love this.
Wow, he did that really quickly.
Yeah.
And if he checks the king, he wins. He wins the queen.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, Critical is on fire right now.
And he took with king, so you could do another similar back rank thing, taking the rook again.
That's true. Good point. That if you get another check on the back rank, down goes that rook on h8 too.
I would just trade here. Just trade. Don't even worry about it. You're up so much. You're up a queen. I think in this spot, when you're playing 3-0.
Yeah, trading would have been good. I think he wants to checkmate Slicker though.
That is he's a bit of a greedy Gavin then.
And he's playing really well. He's ahead on the clock by quite a substantial margin.
I think he'll see like bishop b2 or something. I think he wants to like threaten this rook.
Yep, bishop b2 would have been a good move. And so
Similar
he could bring the queen all the way in there. And you can tell he's nervous because he's a talker and he's being real quiet.
I just gave him the pawn. Grab it. Nice.
Took it.
And then also threatening the rook. This is good. Slicker kind of walked him into that, which is sick for him.
And Slicker has under 30 seconds
free
left.
rook. Or that. That's great too.
Oh no!
Never mind. It's back. Will Slicker
Oh,
see it? He didn't see it. I didn't see it either. On God, I didn't see it either.
That's so
Oh my
lucky.
God.
I think it's mate, right? Is it? No, it's not mate. You can grab that pawn. Is that mate? No.
The king can run as like
Yeah.
just to go to e-file, and he takes the rook now, and he's got 25 seconds.
He just saw the rook. Now he gets the Yeah, and the good thing about having advantage here is even if he doesn't win from mate, he's just gonna win because he's gonna put him in check, and Slicker can't pre-move.
Just don't repeat the moves.
No! No! Oh my God, you're scaring me.
He was gonna do it, and then he probably realized that he can't
Yeah.
make a repetition.
He's got a rook too. You can use your rook here. Bring the pawn up one more. That's gonna be it.
Bang.
He got it.
Ooh, that was a real greaser, baby. Oh,
Oh my gosh.
that is the first time I've won on time ever. Close. Well,
Wow!
Wow. I think that's a sign of respect. If Critical is cursing at your expense, that means he probably likes you.
Yeah, I think that's what that means, Robert. You are nailing it again on the English word and the language. I will say, I think he played great. I'm shocked at how fast he was able to play moves. Obviously, he had a couple blessings that Slicker didn't see, but that's the fun of 3-0. That's why 3-0 is fun, is because there are going to be minimum 5 blunders on each side, and it's all about who's able to spot them and move the quickest.
For sure. And we will bring Critical and Slicker on for an interview. So we'll be back in a bit. Stay tuned, everybody, for more Chess.com PogChamps coverage. And we are back with both Critical and Slicker. So Critical, first and foremost, shout out to you, because that was an epic comeback.
well, I was lucky. I was real lucky. If it was against anyone besides Slicker, I think I was definitely. But I mean, we're going up against Johnny Sins over there. Made a lot of mistakes, overlooked a lot of good tactics. I got lucky.
Okay, listen. Okay, I stopped you round 1. Okay.
Yeah, that was
But-
tough. I got spread a little bit.
You know, it's like, let me just tell you this right now. What happened at the start was just like warm up. You know, like when it's doggy style and then it flips, then you take control. You know, the
Mhm.
gal take control. That's what happened. You know, I let you off on that. Wait, that's why you face palming, bro. You know, that's what happened, mate. Okay, don't be too happy. Don't be too happy.
Hey,
Okay,
I wanted to play
win.
better. I wanted to play better. I was
love
expecting
the
much more from me.
subtleties of your guys' analogies here. I do want to ask, how do you think?
Oh,
you guys-
look who's talking. The guy that got the
I'm-
easiest fucking stage.
Just a commentator. Here's
Hey, it's
Slicker.
Ludwig. This man he's got chess books, bro. Can you even read? This man is reading like Kablonsky or something. There's
I-
nothing
I-
to laugh at. Ludwig is a big man.
Listen, mate. Listen. I beat Ludwig. He's gonna be easy. Unfortunately, you just got the easiest win of your life. Whoever's gonna go through, you've won. You've won. Congratulations.
Well,
You
thank you.
ain't going to
Yeah.
lose. You though. I'll say that. You straight up. Listen.
Alright, I
Don't be.
played
No, but listen. Let me tell you. Oh, man, I'm coming across as an evil man. You know, I'm not an evil man. I swear to God. All right. I love humans. I love you know. You're not a bad guy, Moist. You know. Maybe I was maybe I was a bit hungry and thirsty for that, but then you know I backed out a bit, right? I was like, do I need to? And I remembered one thing.
What'd you remember?
I don't know. But anyway, listen.
Very
listen.
important lesson to
Okay,
take
yeah.
away then.
Forgot a
Dude,
condom, maybe. Couldn't finish the job.
You did good, man. You done good. That was a surprise comeback. You know, the second round, how I took the bishop.
That was-
Up, nil. I don't know where the you came out with that retaliation.
It
I'm
was.
surprised.
I can't believe it actually worked, man. I was genuinely panicking. It was. So the formation I saw there was something similar to one of those puzzles, and Daniel has me working like a madman on like puzzles, and so it was something I recognized and just got lucky that it panned out that way.
That's
It's
sad that Daniel guy literally stream sniped. And he stream sniped Hikamaru, and then he tried to counter our play. So I had to come up with a standard play. I had to come up with any play. Not like I've remembered Hikamaru's lesson he taught me, but I had to come up with a random play. So it was a. I mean, I did all right. To be honest, I done for good first.
No, that
How
was
did
good.
I
Bro,
lose?
you were making some high IQ plays, man. I was sweating hard. But to be fair, Hikaru only teaches like the day of on people I play against. So you got lucky. Hikaru's gunning for me. He's
Bro,
trying to make it hard.
listen. Don't know if you know who I am. I don't need people teaching me how to play. When I was 7 years old, let me tell you the story. When I was 7 years old, right, onto school. Obviously, my mom got me food and stuff for my packed lunch, and I used to go to school and like eat it outside and stuff. Then come back home, PC was ready. I used to play Counter-Strike Source. In fact, that's hypothetically incorrect. 1.6. Okay, I used to practice and practice and practice. No one taught me. I was a mastermind at that game. I became global elite in no time. And then ESL pros wanted to hit me up. I had to decline them because my mom refused these sort of interactions with gamings, unfortunately. But all aside, that's completely irrelevant what I was saying. But I don't need to be coached, okay? So Hikaru, okay? You, okay? And I'm hands. I don't need no training. I need a training, no, okay? You need a training to win that. You need a training to win that.
I'm man enough to admit I needed that training. I would suck fat here.
Critical. Danya was in your chat saying that he believed in you, like throughout most of the match.
He was backseat you every step of the way, telling you what move you should have done, and said, "We've run this 1,000 times." But he held faith the whole way through.
Okay. Well, like I said, when Slicker did not stick to the Hikaru special, the Hikaru dirty strats, it threw me off, and I started to panic a little bit. So I just tried to play like a normal game.
I think his queen opening was actually pretty smart because I don't think any of us prep for that. I don't think Hikaru ever says, yeah, they might just whip out their queen and move that around 3 times. So I think it was actually smart. And he did have a lead game too. Just he made a great comeback.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome that Daniel was there, though. He was supposed to be teaching like a chess camp to underprivileged kids or something. I'm glad he kind of bailed on that to talk in the chat.
Pretty sure he typed in chat, them kids.
Yeah,
it's all about my main man, Johnny Sins, a.k.a. Charlie.
Yeah, it sounds like Daniel.
Yeah. He said that, Ludwig. So you're defending the.
I'm just a commentator bringing up what I saw, Slicker.
He's unbiased.
I think you played the best you could, and you came out here and you put on a great show.
All aside, the gaming was fun, boys. Chess out of all, like when I was a kid, man used to hang around with the hood rats. You get me? Man used to do little robbery. Grandma, come on, give me that purse. But then to chess. Nah, man, I ain't never seen my life like that. So, like, from, robbing the Grammys to going on chess is like a different life for me. And I'd like to thank Chess.com for that, It was, I'm a shock because, throughout all my life, I've been labeled as a brand risk, those people that think I'm a brand risk.
Did you not just talk about robbing a grandmother? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interject.
Man, you don't know about my life, okay?
All right, yeah, go.
Who hasn't robbed a grandmother?
Yeah, occasionally you rob a grandmother. It's not a big deal.
You're not a chess player unless you're robbing Grammys.
So, like, moving to chess is like, it's a different world. But, shout out to Hess, shout out to Hikaru, shout out to Hans, shout out to Alex, shout out to everyone that competed. It was a good run. A loser isn't a loser when you see a loser. So a loser's like a chess nerd. Wait, I'm not dissing you, Hess, bro. I did not take that back. I take that back. Hess, I'll take that back.
Wait. No. Slicker, the last question I have for you is, have you listened to that Tupac Biggie 95 freestyle yet? Are you still disappointed?
Last time you said that to me, and I was ADHD kicked in. But when you said, have you heard that freestyle? Yes, running, right?
I don't know if I believe you.
Yeah, it's called Running. The song's called Running. Biggie and Tupac. That's fake.
What do you mean? Whoa.
That's a remix. It's a remix.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the freestyle 95.
Oh yeah, when they're in the dining table and he's drinking, he says, the freestyle. No, I might get off tempo. Anyway, yo.
I'm kicking you off. We're getting out of here.
I said it right. I said it right. Yeah, you don't know about Tupac. What year was Tupac born in?
You just called me out. You were just hating on everybody. Critical. Hey man, you did good.
Thanks, man.
You gave Slicker the business. I've been a big Slicker fan from day one because he's hilarious. You're still hilarious, by the way. I'm not actually mad. But you actually played really well, and to come back from that while you were clearly nervous and quite quiet on your stream, it was really impressive.
My bad. My microphone was muted, boys. Go ahead.
Slicker, get out of here. We're done with you.
Wait. Don't kick me.
No, we're kicking you. Slicker, get out
Listen,
of here.
wait. My microphone was muted. That's why I didn't get to talk. I said
you always talk.
Did you hear what I said about Tupac?
I don't listen to you, even when you do talk.
Man, no, you then, Has, okay? What rhymes with chess? I mean, what without... No, okay, I don't even... No.
Slicker, you know I like you, man. But we
Man,
got to kick you out. I'm sorry.
Listen, we love you all, man. You know, peace out. Remember this, quoted. Remember, before I leave, the quotes before this is John Marksman, 1962, said, "You."
That's beautiful, man. Good games, man.
Yeah,
Loved
Charlie,
it.
sorry you had to be here for this. I mean, just this we're beefing. But seriously though, congrats on the win. You will play the winner of Ludwig and XQC tomorrow. So do you have any final thoughts on that before we send you both on your way?
No, man. Looking forward to it. I'll see you soon, Ludwig, in the finals.
I look forward to it, man.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us.
I
Yeah, thanks, man.